Oh, this is another video to say, despite, my long archive of videos discussing things that, I'm not a human and that, etc., etc. Well, I decided a while ago that if I want to function in this world, I probably have to be a human. So what I had done was, for my whole life, I wasn't a human. But in order to function in the world, I decided I will become a human. So what I have done is become a human, even though I'm really not, but I decided to become a human. So what I had done was I was saying, how do I really describe myself? It's like the best way to put it is that it's sort of like there's imagine parentheses around these words. So it's like, how do I word it? I am a dragon who is a black woman who has become a Caucasian male human, and that's all in parentheses, and then it says, who is a dragon? So I'm a dragon essentially, but I decided to become a human inside of this, or no, maybe it's outside of the dragon, I don't know, but like, I decided to become a human, a Caucasian male, because don't I look like one? I am one essentially, so, we're gonna say, yes, I decided to become a human. I decided the best way to live is as a human. Obviously, this whole time I've been aware of the fact that I just look like a Caucasian man. So that's sort of how I function in the world. And you understand when I speak to people, um, I'm usually just very friendly with people. I'm usually very friendly. I'm very friendly with people. I decided to be a human so I could function in the world better. And it's like, there's only three things I really need to do that I wrote in my notebook. Well, I wrote a number of things in my notebook. I don't know if it's this one. All right, it says, I must complete the Quran, never orgasm, exercise often. And then in parentheses it says, don't take drugs, don't smoke crack, never get another tattoo, avoid drinking alcohol. So those are what I wrote in that book. And that's essentially what I've got to do. And I said there's more to life than just doing drugs, listening to Suicide Boys music and doing drugs. There's more to life than that. You don't have to be one of those guys selling drugs to people. There's more to life than just like living like you're in a gang and shit. There's more to life than walking around the streets in the middle of the night to get your drugs. There's more to life than that and shit. And I've seen people doing that, and it's like, I was actually out there a few times. There was like several times I was out there smoking crack in the streets. But crack is really a very good drug. But there's more to life than just doing crack. I said, I'm no longer a gangster. I'm still, in a way, I'm still a gangster. But at the same time, I've become a soldier. So I thought if I want to be a soldier, I can't be just doing this gang shit. There's more to life than just being in a gang. It's like I'm not if I'm no longer a gangster, then I guess that means I'm a soldier now. You see, if I was a gangster, I'd wear my hat like this. But we're the United States Army now. We got to be respectful of one another, and also just looking at this movie, My Neighbor Totoro, reminds me of like I said, it reminds me of my Japanese roots, especially when I look at Steel Experiments Lane, because you guys know I think I'm Laney Wakura. Well, I am Laney Wakura. Let's put it like that. Let's be blunt about it and say, I'm trying to put the message out there that, you know, I am Laney Wakura. I'm not really a human, but I've become a human so that I could function in the world. Um, I spend my days smoking cigarettes. I mean, in reality, I'm a dragon. That's why I paint these two nails black, because it looks like a dragon's claw, doesn't it? When you paint those two nails black, it's like a dragon's claw, but the other ones are not painted. And it's supposed to be like a dragon thing, but it's like I've always been like an emo person. I've always been like emo, like an emo motherfucker. And it's like, now I'm like just a soldier now, and it's like I don't really know, man. Today's a special day since it's why I don't know, but yesterday was Christmas, and it's like I showed off my gifts in my last video. I got the Narcotics Anonymous book, so I'm gonna read that. I hope I can read that book so I can learn more about recovery and learn more about recovering as an addict. Since I start to understand that it's okay if you don't have a freaking job. It's okay because I spent 4 years doing drugs and it was really hard to recover. Now I'm 2 years sober, but that was like really, really hard because I'm schizophrenic, but also just because it's like extremely hard to recover. I have like physical problems with my lungs and physical problems with my body. And it's like my body is still recovering. I don't hyperventilate anymore. I really don't, but I'm saying like, for a long time I was hyperventilating every single day, and it's like now I'm 2 years sober. I mean that was really hard, man. More than 2 years sober now. 2 years sober in 13 days. So that's how long I've been sober, since December 13th of 2023. And except there were a few times where I hiccup, where I had a beer or I smoked crack, but those are really weak drugs, so I'm not really worried about it. And of course, there were a couple times I took a few triple C pills, but not like a whole dose. I didn't take like 16 pills at once of triple C, which is like 480 milligrams of dextromethorphan. And it's like, also, by the way, I have a tattoo on my arm that says triple C right there. Since I was essentially just like a gangster, but now I've decided to become a soldier, and now we're doing the God's work over here. We're doing good work over here, God's work. I also became a Republican, and it's saying I want to support the troops, so I put this hat on. But also, since I think I'm a soldier myself, I think I was a soldier in the Cold War, and I really believe that. It's like I'm saying, like we're really trying to do God's work over here. So I'm doing my best, man. Thank you for watching.